Hey everyone, it's Abby and today I'm going to be sharing with you my New Year's resolutions for the second part of 2020. So I think it's safe to say that 2020 did not pan out how we all planned, and a lot of our original resolutions, as much as we want to try and stick to them and things, they've kind of just been all thrown up in the air. From wanting to join a gym and get more active, to even things like spending more time with friends and family. It's been so difficult to try and keep on track. The whole emotional toll that the coronavirus has had on us has just, for me, even the things that don't involve going out, even if it involved staying in and, working on my blog more, the whole situation just put everything under the microscope. All my emotions just were brought to the surface, and I had so much more spare time that I wasn't necessarily being productive in that spare time. I was just sitting pondering about all of these things that were going on and just having to try and process everything. Throw that into the mix with also having my wedding cancelled, or honeymoon cancelled. It kind of just threw everything up in the air. So I took a look at my original 2020 New Year's resolutions and realised that a lot of them aren't going to be very realistic now. One of the main ones I wanted to do was start my own business. I'd got a couple of books to read about business, so I was really looking forward to spending time on the beach researching what my new plans were going to be. And then after the wedding, we were going to look forward to starting a business. But given everything that's going on now, I don't think it's going to be the best time for us to go and decide to buy a physical shop and having to deal with all the implications of coronavirus. Things like social distancing, people having to wear masks and the plastic screens and things. I just don't think it's going to be the experience we thought it was going to be opening a store at this time of the year. So those kind of things I've decided to move to next year and start focusing on other things as my new 2020 resolutions part 2. A lot of these have come from me having a lot of time to sit and ponder and think about things. I think we can all agree with all of this spare time, we've kind of started feeling things, thinking about things that we've probably put to the back of our mind for a really long time. In my memory, I can't think of another time in my life when I've had so much, not sort of spare time, but time to just take life a lot slower and take life a lot slower and start thinking and letting my brain just wander for some time. So let's get on to the new resolutions. So I've got my notebook here, so let's start. So number 1, actually actioning my to-do list. So there's so many things, not physically on a to-do list that I write down, but things that just in the back of my brain that I always think, I wish I could do that, I wish I could do that, I'd love to do this. So they aren't necessarily to-do lists like painting a room or redecorating. These are more like hopes and dreams. I'd say dreams is the best way to describe them really. So start actioning my dream to-do list. My next resolution is to stop saying yes to everything. So when I was actually, going to work in the office and then going out to meals after work, going and visiting friends, family, I just said yes to everything. And there were so many times where I was just so exhausted, but I just didn't want to say no to people. I felt like I needed to have an excuse all the time. And now it was kind of like, I don't need that excuse anymore because nobody can go anywhere. And it was one thing that I really miss going out and seeing my friends and going for meals, but I don't miss being so drained all the time. Another resolution that I have, and is kind of something to carry on doing once lockdown is lifted, is to keep living a slower life. So keeping things at a much slower pace, waking up a little bit earlier in the morning so I have plenty of time to start the day in a really relaxed way. I think this will be quite difficult, when things do start opening up and everyone's in a big rush and surge to start seeing people, but I want to keep on coming back to this resolution and just thinking I need to take things slowly, I need to make sure I have enough time for myself. So those two work hand in hand really. Stop saying yes to everything and live a bit slower. If I keep saying no to things and not doing things that make me too busy, I can actually live a slower life. So fingers crossed those two will balance each other out. My 4th resolution is to stop focusing on other people. So when I go on Instagram, there are about a handful of accounts, I'd say about 20 actually, that really inspire me, motivate me. They are content creators which are really, really hard working. I get really inspired, and every time I see them achieve something or get a new brand deal and things, I'm so proud of them because they worked so hard. But on the flip side of that, there are a lot of content creators out there that I kind of get not frustrated by, but I just get quite envious, and not in a positive way. I think, oh well, I want to do that, or if I did that, if I posted that photo, nobody would react that way to me. It's just because X, Y, and Z, which isn't really fair sometimes because you don't know how much work people put in things behind the scenes. And just because somebody posts a photo and doesn't show how hard they've worked behind the scenes for it doesn't mean that that effort and work wasn't there. But I need to just start focusing on accounts that make me inspired and motivated rather than ones that just demotivate me, especially accounts where they are people who are doing hauls with so many different clothes and I think, oh well, maybe I should do that, and then I think, well actually that goes against everything that I'm trying to achieve going forward, living a more minimal, content lifestyle. So going out doing a Primark haul doesn't really resonate with what I want to do anymore. So maybe unfollowing those accounts will help, as I'm not going to get angry and think, well, if I just went out and brought all these clothes, I would be successful too. Number 5 is less phone usage with no intent. So I don't mind spending a lot of time watching Netflix. I don't mind watching a lot of YouTube. I love going on Pinterest. I don't buy magazines anymore, and I used to read magazines a lot, so reading blogs and reading articles and things is something that I don't mind doing digitally, but I do catch myself spending a lot of time on my phone with absolutely no intent whatsoever, and before you know it I've been sitting on the sofa for about an hour and I've not really achieved anything. But I think this is one that's probably on everybody's list, especially during lockdown. My phone usage has been absolutely horrific. There was one day that it said I'd been on my phone for 8 hours and I just physically didn't even know how that was possible, because I'd got quite a few things done around the house and I just couldn't believe that I'd spent 8 hours of that on my phone. Number 6 is be happy with my own style. So there's been so many times in my life that I have followed fashion trends to the book, and you know, I've posted this really fashionable outfit and I've got a lot of praise for that, and people have reacted really well, and you know, people have commented saying I love this outfit, but deep down that probably I didn't feel comfortable in that outfit. It wasn't maybe 100% me, but because of all those positive compliments that I got, I would just carry on thinking, well, I need to dress trendy to win all these people's approval. So now I'm just want to focus on, you know, wearing the same top that I've had for about 5 years, posting an outfit photo that not everything can be purchased right away, things that have been brought years ago that I can't do a swipe up for people to purchase. Just being happy in my own sort of uniform, if that makes sense. So I love wearing t-shirts, I love wearing comfy bottoms, I like wearing maxi skirts and crop tops and things like that. And it's also being happy that I don't need to fit into one kind of category. There are some days that I love wearing my chunky Fila trainers and an oversized t-shirt. And then there's other days that I love having bohemian waves and wearing a maxi dress and an oversized cardigan. And I used to think I have to either do one or the other. But you know, this is just me. I like all those different kinds of styles. It is what it is. Number 7 is to colour my hair less. As you can see now, my roots are really bad. I suppose you can't see so much on the top, but underneath my roots. So it's difficult to tell because of the light. Actually, it's not difficult to tell at all. They are clearly some badass roots. But I think I just want to colour my hair less, and then when I do actually colour my hair, go for foils just maybe on the top section and start letting some more of my natural colour grow out. My next resolution is going to be to spend at least 1 hour a day on some kind of learning or education. So one thing that I really miss when I look back in my life is I really miss learning, being in college, you know, experimenting with different art techniques, learning about different topics. I did a ceramics course a couple of years ago and I absolutely loved it. I just felt like I'd gone back to college again, and it was just the whole learning process of learning something new I absolutely loved. So to make sure I have enough time to have a whole hour dedicated to education, I'm going to start waking up at 5:30 every morning, just to challenge myself and see if I can use that time in the morning a lot more wisely. One of the main things that I'm going to be doing to learn while we're in this current situation and I can't necessarily go out and do different courses is I'm going to be using Skillshare. I'll pop a link in the description box below, because I'm currently doing a that was sharp. Oh, car alarm's going off now. Come on, sort your car out. Thank you. So as I was saying, I'm going to be using Skillshare as a way of learning new things. So at the moment I'm in the middle of like a 2-month free trial that I got from Lavender, which is one of my favourite YouTube channels, so I'll link that below. And I'll also link below a link to get 2 months free, because especially given this time, we're spending a lot of time at home still and we're having a lot more spare time. These next couple of months we can actually use quite wisely. And then you can just cancel the subscription before the 2 months is up, and you've got all these videos and free resources basically. So on that one, the things that I do want to start learning is I want to learn more digital illustration, I want to improve my watercolours and painting, I also want to look at social media marketing and then just business in general. Number 9 is to keep tidying as I go. So with us spending so much more time at home, there is so much more mess that me and Dave are generating. So I need to make sure that I keep on top of tidying as we go. Especially after I've made my lunch, making sure that I just wipe down the plate and wash the cutlery, pop that away straight away rather than just leaving it in the sink. And then number 10 is one that I'm going to continue to do because I have been working really hard on this one, and is to make sure that I'm shopping with a lot more intent. So when I put something in my basket, I'm deciding to leave it there for at least 24 hours and then wake up the next morning, and if I still want to buy it, I'll purchase it. Another thing that I've done is started creating a list on things to get me. So I'll pop a link to that down below. It's just a free list making service basically, and it's a really good idea because you can share that list with other friends and family when it comes up to birthdays to make sure that you're getting things that you actually want, and vice versa, they can set it up to make sure that you're getting them things that they really want. So I use this as kind of like a bit of a window shopping technique. So I will see things that I like online, I'll save them onto this list, and then when it comes to payday I'll have a quick look through the list and see if there's anything that I still want to buy. I also prefer this than adding like bookmarks to Safari, because I used to always add bookmarks of things that I liked and they just get lost. But yeah, the Things to Get Me website is a really useful tool. And then linking on from that, just making sure that I continue to live this kind of minimal lifestyle that I'm trying to achieve. Not necessarily minimalism, but just a bit more minimal, being content with the things that are around me, things that spark me joy, you know, like Marie Kondo. And when things start going back to normal, just not getting sucked back into that horrible machine that we were drawn into before, of just waking up, not even thinking about what you're having for breakfast, in autopilot, go to work, come home, moan about work, go to bed, leaving a mess because you've not had any time to do anything. You've not had any time after work, you know, to clean and tidy. So it's going to be quite difficult, because I think as soon as everything picks back up again, most of us are going to just get sucked straight back into that. So I just want to keep coming back to these resolutions every Sunday when I do my journaling and looking at the week ahead. I'm just going to keep coming back to these and thinking, make sure that I take time for myself, continue to live a much slower lifestyle, and just really just focusing and spending that extra time that I have just on myself, doing things that I enjoy, and start putting some of my big dreams into action. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see what your new 2020 part 2 resolutions are going to be. So be sure to pop them in the comments below. And if you really enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video.